YouTube channel, to my very first video. I'm so excited to start this channel. I've been wanting to start something on this subject for a really long time. I'm hoping this will answer a bunch of questions and give you some good information and get you started. First things first, yes, I went 21 days without any food. Every time I talk to somebody, they're like, wait, no food? Like, no food. And I'm always like, well, yeah, no food. And then they're like, but what if you, and I'm like, no, there's no food. And they're like, well, you didn't have like salad or like something at night. And I'm always like, no food. So we started out wanting to do this for a 7-day cleanse, but we were both feeling really good and seeing some good results. So we decided to keep going. So we ended up doing it for 21 days. And I'm telling you, it is not easy.
And I wanted to punch someone in the throat.
I'm pretty much healthy. I've been doing these little cleanses for a long time now. So I've kind of built up to this, and it gets easier. So you don't want to start just cold turkey quitting sugar, quitting caffeine. It's going to be much harder to do that if you're still having those items in your diet. So if you have any blood sugar issues or any type of underlying medical conditions, you definitely want to talk to your doctor before you start one of these. My number one recommendation is to start slow and don't do it for 21 days on your first try. I recommend usually about 7 days for your first one, but even 3 days is beneficial. It's just harder that first 3 days because you're detoxing. And I'll give you a tip about that later to kind of help with those withdrawals. I'm gonna start out with kind of my story and what we did, and then we'll go on and I'll give you 5 tips to juice and how to start the actual juicing process. And then I've got some tips for the actual cleanse and how to make your cleanse easier. So stick around to the end of the video for that. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button on this video, and then hit the bell down there if you want to see any of our other videos when we put them out.
Okay, it's day 1, afternoon. I'm feeling actually pretty good. I have a lot of energy. I'm running my kids around, still doing all the same stuff. I would love like a handful of nuts or chips or something crunchy because drinking is just not as fun as eating. But all in all, I'm feeling pretty good, and I don't think my hunger is that bad. It's more of that just I'm bored of drinking. I have been peeing all day, and that is super fun when you're out and about and you have to pee all of a sudden. But it's pretty fine. I mean, I feel like I'm feeling pretty good. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Okay, guys, it's day 2, and I had kind of a different reaction today. I woke up feeling good, and I actually did my intervals workout this morning because I hadn't done it since last Thursday. And so I got up and ran on the treadmill, and I felt really good. And then like at 9:30, I started getting a headache. So I knew this would happen. It usually happens like the first afternoon, but it happened on day 2 this time. And to be honest, I'm not really good at doing the juice. Like, I don't remember to eat because usually I'm just like go and I just grab something quick, or I make like eggs or something in the morning quick, and I didn't even eat until about 11:30, or drink. I didn't juice until 11:30. So you're supposed to be doing it like 5 to 6 times a day, but I have only been doing like 4 glasses a day because it's so hard for me to get it done. I did twice as much this morning so that I'd have 2 in a row, but I don't like the juice as much when it's old. Like, it has to be at least like a couple hours since I made it. So if it's like I make it in the morning and then I drink it for dinner, it doesn't taste as good to me. I like to make it fresh, and that's hard for me to make throughout the day with everything going on. So today I made twice as much for breakfast so that I have some really quick to do. But then this afternoon I'll have to make twice as much again so that I have it. But I'm still feeling pretty energetic. I do feel a little hungry. I really wanted some food with my daughter today as she was eating her lunch. But I had my juice, and now I'm feeling good, and it's fine. Okay, so today is day 4. Yesterday was the hardest day for sure. Like, I felt hungry and like low energy, and I wanted to punch someone in the throat. So if that's pretty typical for these cleanses. Or 1, 2, and 3 are hard. But if you can make it to day 4, I'm not kidding you guys, today I felt amazing. Like I got up, I took a sweet potato juice, which is probably part of the reason because it has tons of carbs and it is, good for energy and things like that. But I felt like I could go for a run, and then I didn't end up running. I ended up cleaning, which is still lots of energy. And then I went to play tennis for like an hour and a half. If you can make it to day 4, then that's a good thing because that's usually when it gets less hard. I feel like I could go for like 2 or 3 weeks if I wasn't having to deal with watching other people eat, because that just makes you want to murder somebody. If you are feeling crappy on the first 3 days, just write it out, because seriously, day 4, you start feeling awesome. I still would love to eat. We're going to try and go at least 2 weeks, but all the parties and the Thanksgiving and everything's coming up, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, it is day 21, and if you can believe it, we originally were going to do 7 days, and then we both decided that we wanted to keep going, and we were feeling really good and just detoxing and losing weight, and so we decided to keep going. So it's been extra hard this time because we have kids that we have to feed every day, but we're in it together, and so it's been nice for that reason. We can suffer together. Also, if you're gonna do it for longer than 7 days, you're supposed to get some protein in there. So we went and got this pea protein powder, and it tastes like feet. But we just hurry and shake it up in some juice and guzzle it down really quick. And then we have some protein, so we're not totally burning all of our muscle, our lean muscle away. You can get that at the health food store and stuff. But ooh, we're so excited to eat. We've been talking about everything we're gonna eat, and we're gonna start really slow and do green smoothies tomorrow and salads and things like that. That's just completely raw and completely plant-based. And then the next day, we're going to work in some cooked fish and cooked veggies and things like that to help us get back, so that, because it happens to be Thanksgiving in 3 days, and we don't want to be dying when we actually partake of some of the food. But I tell you, I'm not really craving sugar or anything like that. I'm just excited for cooked food, like sweet potatoes and rolls and anything. It doesn't even have to be meat. I just want something cooked. So I'll let you know how everything went. So it's day 22. I'm about to break my juice fast. It was a great way to get us back into our healthy habits. We kind of detoxed after Halloween and after all of the sugar that we were addicted to. And we definitely saw some progress with our weight loss. I lost about 15 pounds and husband lost 30 plus. So it is definitely going to be something that we gain a little bit back, because we're going to put food back into our system and things like that. But if you do a refeeding process where you start really slow and don't just like gorge yourself, which we have and is a bad idea, don't eat bacon for breakfast after your first day eating real food. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this orange. I'm super excited. It'll be fun to chew again. It's always good to start out with some sort of whole food, fruit, veggie, things like that. You can have a handful of nuts and things like that to get some protein going in you. I'm going to enjoy this orange very super much. So stay tuned. I'm going to give you all my tips for how to do the juice cleanse. These are my 5 tips for using your juicer. Number 1, wash and peel everything before you turn on the juicer. I know that sounds basic, but it really makes a difference. You need to peel your citrus. Some people have made the mistake of putting a whole lemon in the juicer, and it doesn't taste good. So peel your lemon, peel your orange. Cucumbers, carrots, all that stuff do not have to be peeled. In fact, right at the peel is where like the most nutritious part of the vegetable is. So, and then also pineapple, if you can believe it or not, you don't have to peel the pineapple. Take off the top and the bottom. So if you have a really high-end juicer, it's better. You can leave the peel on. But if your juicer can't handle it, then don't do that, because that is high intensity juicing. Number two, there's two settings on your juicer, usually high and low, on my juicer at least. And the low setting is for the soft veggies and soft fruits like citrus and cucumbers, things that are really like watery and squishy. And then flip it on high for everything else that's hard: celery, apples, kale, all the really hard fruits and veggies. Number three, if you're doing leafy vegetables like spinach and kale, get a big bunch of it and stuff it in, and then put an apple or something hard on top of it, and that will help kind of compact it and get more juice out of it. Otherwise, you're going to be getting a lot of excess. A lot of the leaves just go straight in the basket and don't even get juice out of them. You can redo those ones. It ends up being a little more pulpy, but you can still do that a couple times if you're feeling like there's no juice coming out. Leafy vegetables do not produce a lot of juice, but what they do produce, what is really high in nutrients. Clean your basket immediately and super well right after you juice. I made the mistake of leaving it a couple hours sometimes, and I'd come home and then clean it out. And what happened is the carrots and all the stuff that kind of hardens inside of there hardened in all the little holes, and I couldn't get any juice out of it. One day I was just like, this is not producing hardly any juice. And I looked, and all the little basket holes were plugged. So I ended up having to go in and get baking soda and a steel wool, and I just like scrubbed that thing for like an hour. So it took me forever. So from then on, I've always just washed it immediately after and scrubbed it with a little brush that came with it really well. And that seems to work fine. Use the produce bags that you get at the store to cover your bin, so you can just whip that up and throw it away. We like to feed it to our bunnies. Not everybody's gonna have a pet that they can feed it to, but you can put the pulp in a ice cube tray and then just like freeze them for like little ice cubes, and then put it in soups or smoothies or something if you don't want to waste that pulp. And when you get finished doing the cleanse and are refeeding yourself, then you can put those in your green smoothies, and they'll be really good for you. So okay, these are my 5 tips to actually get through the cleanse. Number 1 is eat plant-based for a couple days before you start. So start out with doing some green smoothies for breakfast. Start out with some salads for lunch. Try to get off of your caffeine and your any sugar addiction that you have before you start the cleanse, because that's what makes it hardest. I was eating fairly healthy before, and I still got some detox headaches. I think it was from Halloween candy and all that crap but I was doing pretty well, and I still got some detox symptoms. So try to like ease your way into it, like on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're going to start your cleanse on Monday, and that helps a lot with those first couple of days. Number 2 is give it a few days. So like I said on my during my cleanse, day 1, 2, and 3 are the hardest. In fact, day 1, you kind of feel good because you've still got all of that food from the day before. So day 2 and 3 are the hardest, I think, for me. And that's when I start getting headaches and things like that. And I try not to take ibuprofen, but you sure can if that's the only thing that helps you. I am just trying to get every chemical, everything out of me. So I don't want to take that headache medicine if I can help it. Drink tons of water, and that helps a lot. And then take it easy. I know that's hard to do when you're running around and, you know, got a life. I don't really do heavy workouts or anything like that. I just try to do yoga, and I do some strength training because I don't want to lose all of my lean muscle. But it's very, very mild compared to what I normally do. Which brings us to number 3, and that is to take some protein powder. If you are doing the cleanse for more than 7 days, you need some protein back in your diet. So it is pea protein or plant-based protein, and I'm telling you, it is nasty. But it's definitely worth it not to lose all of your lean muscle, and you need to get some protein in your life if you're going to lift weights at all, or if you're still exercising, things like that. And it does kind of make you feel good. I have never found a pea protein that I like. It tastes really bad to me. So if you guys have any tips for me, please comment below and tell me what you use, because I just have to like mix it and then just like down it as fast as I can. And it's all chiaki and bleh. And adding on to that, try to lift some very light weights while you're doing this to keep some of that lean muscle, or do some body weight exercises, squats, things like that. I still did my planks. I still was doing my yoga, things like that for strength training. Take it easy. Like, don't go out and start bodybuilding when you start doing this. But I actually got better at my chin-ups because I feel lighter and I'm not as you know, weighed down. So I was doing better at those type of things. I only do like 3 a day, but at least I'm getting better. Tip number 4, I forget to drink water while I'm on this because I'm drinking juice all day. So you have to make sure you drink water while you're doing this. I try to drink 1 lemon water, one of my big 22 ounces before I even start juicing. You will be thirsty in the morning, so make sure while you're thirsty you drink as much as you can. And then you start juicing and you're like, oh, I'm not that thirsty. But that's when the headaches come and fatigue and things like that. So you have to keep drinking water. Tip number 5 is to leave some time after your cleanse to refeed yourself. We were doing this to kind of detox and to feel better, not so much for the weight loss, but the weight loss is definitely a plus. The first day we had a green smoothie and then we had a salad for dinner. We had a juice in the morning and then a green smoothie for lunch and a salad for dinner. Felt great. I mean, we did gain some weight back, but that's going to be pretty typical when you're putting food back in your digestive system. And then day 2, we were really good until nighttime. We had salad and fruit and peanut butter in the morning, and then and for lunch, and then at dinner, I can't even remember what we had. It was like some chicken and things. So we did start eating meat pretty quickly because we knew we were going to eat for Thanksgiving. If I were to do it over or do it in a time where I had more time, I would do plant-based for a whole week. I would even probably the first couple of days not even do solid plant-based. I would probably do the green smoothies and maybe juicing for the first couple of days while I'm still at it. You could probably put some steamed veggies in and things like that once you're a couple days, maybe the next day or 2. But if you want to really, really detox your body, you have to refeed yourself, or else you're just going to go right back to your old habits. So those are my tips to get through your cleanse. Let me know how it goes. I want to hear how you do. If you're going to try a 3-day or a 7-day, I mean, even a 1 day is good for you. And some people do it just like in the morning, they have a juice, and then for dinner they do, or lunch, they do salads, and then dinner is plant-based, cooked vegetables. So we also did a raw diet for 90 days, and I can kind of go I could probably make another video for that too. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this, and if you have any questions, comment below. You can also press the subscribe button and the like button for me, and I'd appreciate it. Thanks.